So up here you see a list of the 3 archival case studies that I've completed, some of the forthcoming publications. But I just want to talk about some preliminary conclusions today about the environmental sciences and the wisdom of storytelling. So there are 4 components to this. I think the best way to think about the research that I've done is that I see a tension between, on the one hand, scientists' efforts to derive an abstract measure of earthquakes, which culminates in the 1930s in the Richter magnitude, which is probably what you all think of when you think of a scientific description of an earthquake. But on the other hand, throughout this period, 1870s to 1930s, there is a competing goal, which is the production of complete descriptions of earthquakes on the basis of non-instrumental data. And that means gathering narratives from as many observers as possible. So I'm interested in what's lost in moving from those narrative accounts to a number, right? And I think the first aspect of this is in the non-instrumental approach, we see the emergence of a scientific vernacular. So this is not just about how scientists learn to correlate observer reports with instrumental measurements, but also about how the observers themselves learn to talk about earthquakes in naturalistic terms as phenomena of a living landscape to which their communities needed to adapt. A second aspect of this is has to do with the problem very current in the environmental sciences today of how do we generate and archive our data. And the challenge is really attaching enough context to that data, what Jeff Boker calls historicizing the data and creating flexible databases. In this respect, I think non-instrumental seismology provides a model, actually. A model for archiving data in a richly contextualized way so that it will be open to interpretation by as many future generations as possible. This is why the non-instrumental data of the 19th century, even of the 16th century, is still valuable to seismologists today, the narrative aspect. Third, human reactions were of interest to these seismologists, not just as measures of earthquake intensity, but in their own right. As the Swiss Commission put it in 1910, to study the relationship of man to earthquakes was from the start a special goal of Swiss earthquake research. And I think that goal bears comparison to today's goal of identifying vulnerability. Think about Haiti. This is a crucial task of the environmental sciences, right? Vulnerability is defined today as arising from both physical and human factors, okay? So not just seismicity, not just the built environment even, but also socioeconomic circumstances that determine how well society can cope with disaster. Lastly, manifesting the uncertainties of environmental risk. This is a question about representation, about representing data. And here I'm drawing, well, you can think about this in terms of a contrast between, on the one hand, the model of risk communication, where the expert is trying to impart certain information to communities in order to give them a firm basis on which to act, in order to divert panic. That's one model. That's not what these seismologists were doing. Another model is emerging in online risk data websites, which try to draw people into admittedly complex data sets, try to manifest the uncertainties in the data, let people grapple with those uncertainties. I think here we can think usefully about Walter Benjamin's notion of the wisdom of storytelling. This is actually where I'm drawing storytelling from. Benjamin contrasts the mode of news or information in the modern world, which, as he puts it, is shot through with explanation, abstracted from its original context, with the pre-modern mode of storytelling. Information holds out the promise of a quick and effective fix to situations. Storytelling, by contrast, Benjamin argues, is the essential vehicle of wisdom because it eschews explanation. Okay, so I think in non-instrumental seismology, we have a nice model for storytelling as a mode of wisdom. Thanks.